Now the heat wave is here and it is sticking around for a while. How to stay safe. And more summer construction starts, how small businesses are being impacted. Plus, enjoying some music, beer, and food. To celebrate the season, we take you to Fête de Marquette.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5:30.
Thanks for joining News 3 Now at 5:30. I'm Amanda Quintana. We start tonight with an update to a story we brought you yesterday. Officials say the body of the father who went missing at Prairie du Sac Dam yesterday has been found. Boaters found the body in the Wisconsin River between Maizomanie and Arena, 10 miles downstream from the dam. The 53-year-old man was last seen Saturday while trying to rescue his children in the water. The Sauk County Coroner's Office says no foul play was suspected and his death has been ruled an accidental drowning. After searching all day, the Sauk County dive team suspended its search last night and planned to begin again this morning at 9 o'clock. The man's identity is currently being withheld until the family is notified. Let's get a look at your first alert weather with Gary Canalti out on the patio. It is getting hot out there, Gary.
It is, and it's going to stay hot. In fact, we have alert days in the forecast actually all the way through this week and into Sunday of next weekend. And for the reason for that is for high temperatures, it'll be between about 90 and 92 with heat indexes between 95 and 105 degrees. But Friday and Saturday should be the hottest days with high temperatures in the middle 90s and heat index values as high as 107. Now we're starting to see a few thunderstorms bubble up to our south and west and also well to our north and west where a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect toward the Twin Cities. But a little closer to home, looks like some showers and thunderstorms starting to move into Grant County in the southern portion of Lafayette County, south and west of Platteville and Darlington. Temperatures right now are in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. The dew point temperatures upper 60s to around 70. So you factor the two together, it feels like it's 91 in Madison, but 98 in Mineral Point and 98 in Boscobel. Look for a chance for a shower or thunderstorm in a few spots tonight. Temperatures only dropping into the upper 60s. Tomorrow should be another breezy, hot and humid day with a high temperature of 91. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Thank you so much, Gary. With these high temperatures not going away anytime soon, paramedics have some warnings. Our Madeline O'Neill is live at Elver Park with the best ways to stay cool and safe. Maddie.
Hi, Amanda. I feel like I should have brought my swimsuit today. You can definitely feel it's mid-July in Wisconsin here. If you're going to be outside, this isn't a bad place to be. I think everyone kind of has the right idea. But if you're going to be outside without access to a convenient way to cool off like this water here, paramedics want you to keep a few things in mind. That includes events like the art fair on the square today. The Madison Fire Department had 2 paramedic units there for any medical emergencies that might happen. They say they were keeping busy, mostly dealing with health-related concerns when it comes to the heat. And with the heat expected to continue, paramedics say it's best to try and take it easy.
Definitely staying well hydrated, you know, drinking those 8 cups of water a day, staying out of the heat, make sure you stay cool. And if you do start feeling lightheaded, feeling nauseous, definitely get in to the AC or call 911 if it's a true medical emergency.
Some warning signs of heat exhaustion to remember over the next few days are sweating profusely, nausea, vomiting, double vision, and if you stop sweating suddenly, that might actually be a sign of a heat stroke. Now, another thing to keep in mind over the next week is to check on your neighbors, especially if they're elderly or don't have air conditioning, just to make sure they're doing okay. Coming up at 10, we'll have more on how to deal with this heat wave, and I'll tell you, finding some water isn't a bad way to do that. Amanda?
All right, thank you so much, Maddie. More local news now. In Fitchburg, the intersection of Fitch-Rona and Nesbitt Roads is under construction until October. Gabriella Becerra is here to share how this closure is affecting nearby businesses. Gabby.
There are a couple of businesses directly at the intersection that are impacted. Just by searching for the location on Google Maps, it took me 3 different times to find an accessible way to get to Bavaria Sausage, one of the businesses located where the new roundabout will be. Local shops and restaurants along Nesbitt Road say it's affecting their customer traffic.
We're feeling it.
Pancake Cafe off of Nesbitt Road is getting less traffic these days.
Normally we'll go into anywhere from a 30 to 45-minute wait easily on a Sunday. This Sunday we didn't have any wait. So that tells you right there.
And farther up the road, Jung Garden Center is also seeing a decline in customers.
Our customer traffic is definitely down.
With the intersection of Fitchrona and Nesbitt roads closed, the main way to get to these businesses is from McKee Road.
We don't have as many customers even coming in our door because of this construction.
And the entrance to Nesbitt Road from McKee is affected by the intersection of McKee and Highway 151 construction.
Intersection is a huge deterrent of business because the light is very long.
Not only is the construction a hassle, but drivers are having trouble finding some of these businesses.
Coming for the first time, it would be just horrible to try to find us.
Jung Garden is hoping that after the construction, their in-store customers will make a comeback.
We're hoping that we can gain back the business that we've lost this last year or two once the construction has halted and traffic is a lot more seamless to get in the store.
And for Pancake Cafe, the pain is only temporary.
We'll be hurting for the next couple of months, but then that'll all come back.
The city of Fitchburg says the roundabout will reduce congestion and will be a relief route for the construction on McKee and Fitch Hatchery roads.
All right, thank you so much, Gabby. People in Milwaukee are angry after a 3-year-old girl was shot and killed in a road rage incident yesterday morning. Investigators say Brooklyn Harris was with her mom and 3 young siblings in a car when her mom nearly collided with another car. The driver of that other car then shot at them, a bullet striking the little girl. Police say they have the suspect in custody, and the incident is now creating an outcry amongst local leaders and the community.
These innocent kids should be able to play out here and live their life. It shouldn't be all this killing going on, and always an innocent bystander.
Community leaders and the family joined together last night to remember Harris's life with a vigil. A house in Exeter is a total loss after a fire caused $400,000 in damage this morning. The Belleville Fire Department was dispatched just before 4:30 this morning for a residential structure fire. Officials say the family's dog alerted the homeowners to that fire. The entire family and the dog made it out safely, and no firefighters were hurt. Dane County Dispatch says the fire was fully extinguished by 5:30. The cause is still unknown. A researcher who tracks foreclosures in Wisconsin says the state has the lowest foreclosure rate it has seen in nearly 2 decades. Economic officials say the rates have dropped because of stricter lending criteria, more renters, and high employment rates. Research indicates in 2009, Milwaukee County had 36 to 55 foreclosures that were filed per 10,000 people. Those numbers are at just 11 to 20 foreclosure filings per 10,000 people a decade later. There have been nearly 3,600 foreclosure filings in Wisconsin this year. Critics say President Trump used racist language to attack Democratic Congresswomen today. In a series of tweets this morning, Trump implied the Congresswomen weren't born in America and sarcastically suggested, quote, they go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came. The tweets come after a group of Democrats who are women of color criticized Trump's immigration policies and conditions of border detention facilities. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi fired back, saying, quote, his plan to make America great again has always been about making America white again. Coming up next on News 3 Now at 5:30, Riding for Those We've Lost, how a group of bikers are helping young patients while reflecting on the people they miss. Today was the 4th annual Ride to Remember to benefit the UW Children's Hospital. More than 450 people participated, riding 300 motorcycles. The event raised more than $22,000 over its first 3 years. They ride in memory of loved ones who have passed and to celebrate their passion and love for riding motorcycles. Ride to Remember organizer Daryl Holcomb says his favorite part is seeing everyone show up and support the kids.
We hope that everybody feels as passionate as we do to come ride with us and support the American Family Children's Hospital. It's local. We support the Greatest Need Fund, and what that does is that helps families that don't have the money to come see their children.
He says a safety team of about 25 people were involved in today's ride, which included a bus for participants if they wanted to stop riding at any time. He says a group of bikers also swept grass clippings off of the corners of the route last night as a precaution. Since the death of 5-year-old Dominic May on July 13th of last year, his mom, Megan May, has worked to create a charitable fund to honor him. The fund, called Dominic's Ripple, came to life today at Kiva Sports Center. May says the fund is a way for her to give back to the community. She's donating the money raised to the Madison Police Department for a new canine police dog, since Dominic hoped to become a police officer. Today, the fund brought together friends, family, police officers, and one of the police dogs. You can hear from Dominic's mom and Chief Mike Koval tonight on News 3 Now at 10. The 2019 Fête des Marquettes came to a close today after 4 days of music, beer and wine, food and art vendors. The festival had activities for families and adults like a Ferris wheel, bounce houses, and a prize wheel. Fête des Marquettes is produced by the Wilmar Neighborhood Center and celebrates French heritage. This is the 14th year of the festival, and this year they added a new edition of Zorbs, the big inflatable balls meant to make kids feel like they're walking on water.
It brings together, folks from all over the city and gives people a chance to experience the Near East Side.
The Wilmar Neighborhood Center uses the festival as one of its fundraisers, and this year plans on using funds for renovation of its building. Still to come on News 3 Now at 5:30, it is staying hot and humid. Gary has your first alert forecast when we come back. Welcome back. An exciting change is coming to the CBS Evening News starting tomorrow. That is when former longtime CBS This Morning co-host Norah O'Donnell moves into her new role as anchor and managing editor of the nightly newscast. She joins a legacy that includes legendary CBS News anchor Walter Cronkite. O'Donnell has an extensive background covering politics, including as CBS News' chief White House correspondent. She says the CBS News team is uniquely positioned to cover the 2020 presidential election.
Covered 6 presidential campaigns. This one's going to be one for the ages.
Yeah, our goal for the CBS Evening News is not to follow the news. We're going to break news. There's going to be an urgency and a set of context and depth and clarity like we've never had before.
The two-time Emmy winner has sat down with presidents, princes, and CEOs and plans to continue getting the big interviews. The CBS Evening News with Norah O'Donnell begins tomorrow. For most areas in Louisiana, the threat of Tropical Storm Barry is over. That's according to New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell. Cantrell says the city made it through the storm at a press conference this morning.
We absolutely made it through the storm. Beyond lucky, we were spared. It seemed as those bands moved closer to New Orleans, it seemed to just go around us.
Cantrell says though the city was spared, they still have to remain prepared for what could happen next. Let's turn it over to Gary Canalti for your first alert forecast. I know meteorologists are really paying attention to what could happen next there.
Well, we're, around here, we're just dealing with the heat, but some thunderstorms have blossomed up just south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. In fact, the National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:30 p.m. for parts of Dubuque and Joe Daviess County. This storm right now moving very little or just kind of drifting off to the east pretty slowly at about 5 miles per hour. It does bring the threat for hail into at least the southern portion of Grant County, well south of Platteville, maybe up to the size of pennies right now. That would be just below severe limits. We're going to watch this storm as it continues. That's hail zone, the forecast track, and you can see the hail tracking just along and to the east of Highway 151 as it moves into the southern portion of Grant County over the next half hour. Now you can see these little clusters of storms have popped up. They're moving pretty slowly. Most of us will miss out on the rain altogether, but if you get caught underneath one of these heavier thunderstorms, expect the possibility for some brief heavy downpours. There's a severe thunderstorm watch to the north and west across parts of eastern Minnesota. That area under a slight risk of severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk about as far south as the Dells, but again, these storms over here have become severe, so it's possible we could see an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm at some point, and that'll be the case again for tomorrow. But tomorrow, the better chances for storms will stay to the north. So right now, I don't even have rain in the forecast. If a thunderstorm should develop, it has the possibility of producing some gusty winds and heavy downpours. But the heat, no doubt about that. We've got alert days in the forecast continuing until Sunday of next weekend for hot and humid weather. High temperatures between about 90 and 92. Heat index values between 95 and 105. But the hottest days should be Friday and Saturday, where the high temperature will be around 94, and the heat index could be as high as 107 degrees at times. And you can see future track heat index beginning on Thursday afternoon showing triple-digit heat indices across southern Wisconsin. Pretty much the same story for Friday. Triple-digit heat indices from Madison southward, and as we head into Saturday as well, we could see heat index values between about 105 and 107 degrees. So that is dangerously hot. But right now, the live view from the Queen Radio Skycam in Platteville starting to show some of those thunderstorms developing to their north and west. The WISC Skycam right now not detecting other than the tops of those storms well off to the distant southwest, and the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison looking toward the southeast, really not seeing much in the way of cloud cover. Our high temperature today so far 88, the low temperature is 63, and right now we're at 88. The heat index is at 91 because the dew point temperature is in the upper 60s. So our forecast for tonight, partly cloudy. It'll be mild and muggy. There will be a chance for a shower or thunderstorm in a few spots with a low temperature of 69. But tomorrow, breezy, hot, and humid weather. And again, I think the chances for rain will stay to our north with a high temperature of 91. Future track, just a chance of a thunderstorm overnight. Low temperatures in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, the best chances should stay to our north with high temperatures in the lower 90s. Tomorrow night, again, you can see the chances for rain staying mainly to the north with lows in the upper 60s. Tuesday should be dry for much, if not all of the day, with highs in the upper 80s to around 90. Thunderstorm chances could arrive Tuesday night into Wednesday and Thursday, but just a slight chance at that. Not really enough to break the heat. And then again, the bulk of the heat Friday and Saturday, that's when we hit our peak. Temperatures, though, should at least get back into the mid-80s next week once we see some thunderstorm chances toward the end of next weekend, but that's a ways down the road.
Ooh, that's a lot of alert days all at once, one after another.
Yeah, for the heat and humidity.
All right, thank you so much, Gary.
Sure.
The Greek Freak sure knows how to throw a party. We'll show you how Giannis celebrated winning MVP next in sports.
Have you heard? Dwelling
Well, I know I sound like a broken record, but pitching woes do continue for the Brewers. Rubber bench against the Giants this afternoon in front of a sellout crowd. Brewers down 2-1 in the 6th inning, but don't worry, the MVP is here. Christian Yelich with home run number 32 of the season, tying the game up at 2. But the bullpen just could not deliver. Bases loaded for Matt Albers. Walks Brandon Crawford in the 7th inning. A Brew Crew down 8-2 at the end of that inning. Bottom of the inning, though, Lorenzo Cain going after the first pitch he sees. Eric Thames comes home, but that's pretty much it. Brewers lose 8-3. They'll host the Braves tomorrow night. The Mallards sweating it out at the Duck Pond as we speak, hosting the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors. Right now, they are scoreless in the 1st inning. It's been a weird weekend tournament for Steve Stricker, starting round 1 of the Bridgestone Senior Players with a 64, but having some troubles after that. The Edgerton native tied for 3rd coming into today's final round. Approach shot here on 9. Beautiful lie. He would nail the par putt on that one, but struggling on the greens for a bit after that. 3 birdies today, but also 5 bogeys for him. 72 on the day. He finishes in 6th place at 1 under par overall. Retief Goosen winning the whole thing by 2 strokes. Well, yesterday the ladies, today the gentlemen's singles final between Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. This match was an epic one for the history books. Needed 5 sets this morning, including the first 5th set tiebreaker at a men's final at Wimbledon. Djokovic winning the marathon match in 4 hours and 55 minutes. That's the longest final in the history of the All England Club. The 30-year-old Djokovic is currently #1 in the world, and this is his 16th Grand Slam title overall and 5th Wimbledon singles title. In case you missed it late last night, a family affair at Kentucky Speedway. Kurt Busch beat a familiar face, overtaking his little brother Kyle in the final moments for the checkered flag in a 1-2 Busch brother finish. Kyle hoping for some better luck next weekend in Loudon, New Hampshire, where he also came in 2nd to Kevin Harvick last July. The city of Milwaukee making it officially a fish. Today is Giannis Antetokounmpo Day. The MVP throwing a huge party outside Fiserv Forum with thousands of his friends and biggest fans. He even brought his brothers on stage with him, including Thanasis, the newest member of the Bucks. But as always, the Greek freak humble in his speech, saying the whole team won MVP, not just him.
It's the whole season, in this trophy right here. When I look at this trophy, and not just, the season and the moments behind the scene. When I'm back at home with my family, that they support me on a daily basis and they want me to, be successful. That's when I look at this trophy. That's what I see.
And I love how he's always so gracious in his speeches. Yeah. And he ended his speech by saying, "Now let's go get the big trophy," which. Ooh. hopefully a lot of pressure on the team for next season.
Yeah, and it's exciting that they got to celebrate after, you know, such a good run.
Yeah, it was cool.
All right, thank you so much. We'll be right back.
It's
Hi, I'm Michelle Carolla. Tonight on the news at 9, another Tennessee whiskey is hitting the market, but the story behind it is a special one. We'll tell you why. It's first on Fox at 9.
All right, Gary, we've got a lot of alert days ahead. Yeah, we do for the heat and humidity. And tonight we're dealing with some strong thunderstorms that might be affecting parts of Grant County. Let's take a look at high-resolution Doppler. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 6:30 p.m. Just south of Wisconsin-Illinois state line. Although it looks like the National Weather Service may have canceled it. It was showing the potential for some hail, maybe some small hail as far north as Platteville, but we'll keep an eye on that. You can see those storms drifting off toward the north and east, but it's warm out there. Upper 80s to lower 90s right now. The dew point temperature is around 70, and it feels like temperatures are around 90 to 100 degrees.
Ooh. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.